a sophomore at Fayetteville State, so they're somewhat independent, but still need daddy, especially when it's time to write a check. And so I just try to have a balanced approach about putting things in order that's appropriate. And as I told you before, Paul, I enjoy the title of a senator or a council member and even a congressman. But the title that I love and I can't do without is the title of being of a husband and a father. So I work hard to be a great husband. I work hard to be a great father, and making sure I take care of home, because if I don't take care of home, there's no way I can take care of the community.
You've been in politics for a number of years, and we only hear nothing but positive things about Senator Graham. And when you listen to the news, you hear a lot of negative things about politicians. Why is it so important that is so important to you to represent?
Well, I'm not perfect, and certainly I've made my fair share of mistakes as well. But one of the things that I told my wife early when I first started running for public office is she said, "I don't want to wake up one morning and read something in the paper negative about you. I mean, so do what you need to do and do it right." And that's a pledge I made to her. And so, obviously, as a state senator or a congressional candidate or a council member, we're under a microscope, and I understand that. And I try to conduct myself in a way that it's that I want to be represented as an individual, and how I want my kids to see me as a father, and my wife to view me as a husband, and the constituent to see me as a local leader. And so I try to do those things that are appropriate. I try to do those things that are right. Um, uh, Obviously, I'm human. Sometimes I fall down, but I get up. And I tell people if I made a mistake, I made a mistake, and I apologize. So yeah, I think people appreciate that. And so I just try to conduct myself in a manner that my mama would be proud of.
Okay. That's great. That's great. How do you deal with the individuals who may disagree with some of your views on certain issues?
Well, I would love to get 100% of the vote. I know that's not possible. And so sometimes people agree that they disagree with me. I try not to be disagreeable. I understand there's always two sides to every issue, and I'm not always on the right side, right? Some people disagree with me for a wide variety of reasons. But I try to do what is right. And I clearly understand that sometimes doing what is right is not popular. And I also understand that sometimes doing what is popular is not right. And as a local leader, I just try to make the decisions that I believe that's in the best interest of the citizen. And obviously there will be someone that disagrees with that, but hopefully they can understand my rationale, my thought process for why I got to where I am on a particular issue, and that somehow they would come to my point. Now, during this election, I want to get 90% of the vote.
Correct.
I,
Yes, sir.
I hope so. My campaign manager probably wants me to get 100% of the vote. I know that's not possible. So hopefully those who may not vote for me or vote for another candidate, that when we win this election, that I can earn their vote the next time around.
As an administrator of Johnson C. Smith University, Golden Bulls,
Oh,
as you,
there you go.
I know you are really involved with a lot of the youth, and you hear a lot of them and their issues. What are some of the issues that they talk about being in a college institution, and how do they handle it? How do you,
Well, it keeps me young working on college campus, and I get a chance to hear from them directly about what's impacting them. The first thing is college affordability. Malcolm, I need to be able to stay here, and I need to afford the tuition. And so the issue of college affordability is something that I deal with on a daily basis, talking to students, counseling students, and encouraging students and helping them through the maze to kind of pay for college and stay there. We have very great students at Johnson C. Smith University, and we want to make sure that they come in as a freshman and leave as a senior. So college affordability is an issue that they talk about all the time. And then secondly, when they graduate and as a senior, can I find a job? There's so many college kids, 22, 23 years old, that simply cannot find a job. And so they are worried about, going into the workforce, being prepared, and using those skill sets to get a job. And so job is one of those things that they're always talking about. Can I get a job? Not only a job, but a job that pays a decent wage where they can start a family and start a life and start a community and help a community. And then we kind of focus on students in terms of what they major in and how they kind of prepare themselves for these jobs of the 21st century. So I always encourage students to kind of focus on the STEMs, the science, technology, engineering, and math. Those are the jobs of the 21st century. And so if they can come in as a freshman and master those four core areas and leave with a degree from Johnson C. Smith, hopefully they can be gainfully employed, that the economy will improve, that they'll be able to afford college and not leave with college debt. But those are the three issues, Paul, that they always talk about. Can I get a job, Malcolm, when I leave here? Can I afford to pay the tuition? And am I making the right decision in terms of my course of study? And obviously, I'm advocating science, technology, engineering, and math.
I know there's some other higher education colleges, university within the 12th district. Why it's so important that they come out and reach out to you and find out your views on certain issues?
We had a great time. For the last 2 weeks, we've been on just about 5, 6 major college campuses in the 12th congressional district. We were at North Carolina A&T. We were at Winston-Salem State University. We were at Livingstone College, here at Johnson C. Smith, UNC Greensboro. The 12th congressional district is fortunate to have a number of great private and public institutions that make up the congressional district, and all of them have the unique opportunity to educate our kids in a significant type of way. North Carolina A&T, for an example, a technical school, really has a strong program in the science, technology, engineering, and math. My daughter's at Winston-Salem State. They have a strong criminal justice program, political science program. Wake Forest University in Winston-Salem. So we are fortunate to have all those great institutions, and I believe that if we can get all those institutions working together, moving in the same direction, that we can build a country and a nation where charity and welfare will no longer be needed. I mean, a country where that if you're sick and you need medical attention, you can get it. That if you're hungry, you can be fed. If you're able-bodied and looking for a job, you can find one. And as I said earlier, finding a good paying job that has a living wage where you can send someone to college. And then, unfortunately, good schools will be provided for all. So I think if all these institutions move in the same direction, if the citizens of Charlotte and Greensboro and High Point and Winston-Salem all move in the same direction, we can build a nation starting right here in North Carolina 12th Congressional District, because we got the resources here, starting with our private and public institutions.
I know we talk a lot about the colleges and university, but why is it so important that we focus on our youth as far as kindergarten, elementary school coming up? So,
Those are the foundations. Pre-K, K through 3 are so fundamentally important to providing a solid foundation for later success. So we got to make sure we have strong pre-K programs that encourage our kids from the earliest age, when that baby is in that mother's womb, that we need to start educating that child by the mother reading to that child, the father encouraging that child. I believe that a child gets all this encouragement and nurturing right from the moment that they are conceived. And so obviously once that child is here and they're of a learning age, and learning age now is, as soon as they are here, they are touching, feeling, smelling, that we need to have those type of early childhood education that encourage learning at the very earliest of age. And I believe that it is not the child's environment, it is that individual, and as they grow up, that will encourage early success and early learning.
I know saw in the news a lot about the crime that's going on within our school system. How do we deal with that as far as ensuring that security is input for our youth, safety of our youth?
Well, we work with our superintendents throughout the 12th Congressional District. Keith Morrison in Charlotte is doing a tremendous job. Mo Green, the superintendent in Guilford County Schools, is doing a tremendous job as well. And we give them the tools necessary for them to protect our kids while they're in school. School resource officers are extremely important. The Charlotte City Council has invested a number of dollars in making sure that Mr. Morrison and the Charlotte Mecklenburg school system have the resources needed to be successful in terms of protecting our kids, learning from what's happening throughout the country, all these school shootings, making sure that we kind of learn from other communities and put best practices in place that encourage school safety, and giving school systems locally more flexibility. That's something I've always wanted, and I've always tried to do as a state senator is give the local school systems more flexibility at home to make decisions for themselves versus having big government in Raleigh telling them what to do and how to do it. I mean, we got teachers, principals on the ground that knows these communities, know the school system particularly well, and they should be given the authority to kind of govern themselves accordingly based on curriculum as well as how to keep our kids safe.
Another important issue that we probably look at is affordable health care. Tell us a little bit about, for those that may not know the importance of it, tell us about the affordable health care and why is it so vital that we get involved into this, knowledgeable within this program?
Well, I believe health care is a human right, and that all Americans should be able to get safe, affordable health care. And I agree with the president in terms of the Affordable Care Act, that it is the law of the land. Last October, we started registering citizens throughout the country to be a part of it. I think they ought to take advantage of it. And so I've hosted 2 seminars, one at Johnson C. Smith University, the other within the community, where we brought citizens in to teach them and educate them on the importance of the Affordable Care Act, how they can access it, and why it's so important. I mean, it is, healthcare, as I said earlier, it's a human right. And now we have a president who have put that squarely on the table. The Congress has passed it as law, and now we need to educate the community about how they can take a part of it and how it impacts their lives. And you hear stories all over the country of individuals registering who had pre-existing conditions, and before that they couldn't get health coverage. Now they're getting health care. We're getting young adults, those, again, 22, 23, 24-year-olds now can stay on their family's plan. There are a number of examples of how the Affordable Care Act has benefited the community thus far, and we still need people to register and get involved in it. And as the next congressman, my job, one, will be to, again, talk about the importance of the Affordable Care Act, getting people registered to participate in it, and supporting the President of the United States of saying this is the law of the land now. Now we need to make sure that every citizen is educated about it and how they can enroll and take part in it.
If the affordable health care is so important, why do we hear so many negative things about it?
Well, it's part of the partisan gamesmanship in Washington, D.C. If I'm for something, somebody else is against something. But how can you be against health care? How can you be against encouraging someone to get what they need? So it's just Washington, D.C. politics.
Ladies and gentlemen, Senator Malcolm Graham, thank you for coming on this show. If they want to get in contact with you, how would they go about doing that?
They can go to my website at www.malcolmgraham4congress, or look me up on Facebook or Twitter.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Senator Malcolm Graham. Get out there and get involved. You be encouraged. Thank you.